Zack Ryder, Christian, and many others could be having something done with their characters in a productive way, but they're not. Even The Miz could be having something done more productive than what he's having done with his character, but it's because of this angle being emphasized on so much each week that, characters like AJ and John Cena and Vicky Guerrero now are suffering from it. The one who's benefiting the most from it is definitely AJ and Vicky Guerrero because they're being talked about on Twitter more. AJ is definitely one of the most talked about divas and still one of the most unpredictable divas you have in the WWE in the way of a character and a diva in both ways. So the unpredictability for AJ is still there, and so much can still be done with AJ's character. I just wish she was competing more and should have already won the Divas Championship by now. And John Cena's future has never been more uncertain than it has been over the last few weeks. I never would have thought here in 2012, the 10th year of John Cena in WWE, he would be involved in some kind of relationship scandal when everybody knows that he's married. I mean, it's pretty obvious the man is married because of the success that he's had over the last 10 years. I mean, Vince McMahon gave the man more money than any top new talent industry star to run with his own gimmick and do what he wanted with his gimmick. He wrote his own entrance music. He's made several DVD documentations of his career and his life. He's represented WWE better than any top new talent industry star, and now 10 years after all this has happened for John Cena, after he's main evented WrestleMania at least 6 or 7 times, John Cena's now in a relationship scandal with AJ, and that says a lot about his credibility amounting to the heights of shit. And I really want to see John Cena get himself out of this proverbial corner and head down a prosperable road heading into WrestleMania 29, because if he doesn't get himself out of this rut and out of this precarious position, we have no chance of seeing The Rock versus John Cena at WrestleMania 29, and I really want to see John Cena versus The Rock Part 2. I'm not going to lie to you, because of the work ethic on the part of John Cena and The Rock last year, how many incredible promos were cut, how many times The Rock kept coming back periodically for his birthday, the face-to-face confrontations with John Cena, the tag team match from the 2011 Survivor Series. Everything about the first Rock-John Cena match was so incredible and in the right place, and it's definitely a candidate for Match of the Year for 2012, which it will obviously win in a few short weeks at the 2012 WWE Slammy Awards, which will be a 3-hour Raw special. I think that with that being the Match of the Year, we need John Cena versus The Rock Part 2 to give this rivalry a stamp of finality. There will not be another Rock-John Cena match if these kind of things continue to happen for the likes of John Cena, AJ, and Vicky Guerrero. And if these kind of things continue to happen for AJ and Vicky Guerrero especially, their status in WWE will greatly be affected because of the aftermath of this angle, and I think that their performance in this angle is going to be a decision, a thing that will emphasize a decision on the future of their careers in WWE. It will definitely influence what kind of direction they head in. So I hope that they get themselves out of this proverbial corner and head down a road that's paved with nothing but prosperity. It's just really confusing to me. Obviously, it's being done because of the injury John Cena suffered, losing 2 months of action. But, does it really need to be emphasized on as much as it has been, taking away from your top new talent initiative stars, decreasing the amount of credibility that AJ and John Cena have worked so hard to achieve, and with it being a PG show especially? Do things like this continuously need to be happening on Raw? I'd go for it if it was TV 14A, but it's not. I mean, WWE have changed with the times. You're supposed to be promoting a PG show, and in the meantime you have this relationship scandal, which is definitely a TV 14A rating that many wrestling fans of young ages don't understand, don't want to take the time to comprehend it, and they have to be having a difficult time comprehending this. I mean, you have WWEkids.com. Meanwhile, you have a TV 14A storyline happening on a PG show. What's the fucking sense of it? I mean, John Cena, if he continues to be involved in these angles, I don't want to see him at all. I don't want to even see him at WrestleMania 29. I'd much rather go for The Rock versus Brock Lesnar or The Rock versus Ryback as your WWE Championship main event for WrestleMania 29, rather than John Cena versus The Rock, because the first thing The Rock's going to do is he's going to come back and he's going to say he's not going to want to face that John Cena at WrestleMania, the guy who's caught up in AJ's personal life. He wants to face the guy that's going to bring it at WrestleMania. And probably so. I mean, the only guy that could probably get John Cena out of this precarious position could be The Rock. He could bring the competitive John Cena out, unlike any other superstar has been able to do. That could be the way it could go too, giving us The Rock versus John Cena Part 2. I don't know. I just know that several superstars are suffering, and suffering greatly, from being involved in this angle, and there's absolutely no need of it. It's taking away from in-ring time for new talent initiative stars that could be getting in-ring time because of these 20-minute segments. That's taking up a lot of time on Raw, taking away from what you could be doing with your new talent initiative stars. Now you could be benefiting them heading into WrestleMania 29. AJ's status is going to be determined because of her performance in this angle. Hopefully WWE will hold on to her for an additional few years with the loss of Kelly Kelly, and she's not competing in the Divas division as much as I would like to see her compete. I mean, she's competing more with the top WWE superstars in the way of a Kelly Kelly defending the world title from 2011. I'd like to see her compete with other females, and John Cena's future has never been more uncertain. So there are so many X factors contributing to the uncertain future of WWE, and do you really want your company to be as uncertain as it has been heading into an event as prestigious as WrestleMania 29, the state that WrestleMania made its debut in back in 1985? I mean, honestly, that was when WrestleMania was on closed-circuit television, and Mr. T and Hulk Hogan were taking on Roddy Piper and Paul Orndorff in the WrestleMania main event. Now, WrestleMania has gone from Hulk Hogan and Mr. T teaming up to John Cena involved in a relationship scandal facing The Rock at WrestleMania. Take AJ out of it, you got a good match. Keep her there. The future of the WrestleMania main event has never been more uncertain. I'm your host, Jonathan Clarke. What do you think of the relationship scandal between John Cena and AJ? A couple of things. When it's a PG show, do these kind of things need to be happening on Raw, especially when it's your only live show on a weekly basis? What do you think it's doing to the status of the careers of AJ and John Cena? Do you think AJ will eventually land a position of competition in the Divas division? What do you think? What do you think of it all? I just think it's a bunch of nonsense, and it doesn't need to be going on. And if it continues, we're going to be heading down a very uncertain road heading into WrestleMania. You can tell me what you think of this whole John Cena AJ scandal, and if it's of some legitimacy. Does it really need to be taking place on social media? It's another question that I have. Vicky Guerrero's Twitter account has never had more tweets sent out than it's been having sent out here recently, with photos and videos supporting her claims as the Raw supervisor. You would think she would be focusing on making Raw a better show than what it has been over the last few weeks since AJ was implemented as the Raw general manager back on Raw 1000. Couple of things. What do you think it's doing to the new talent initiative roster? What do you think it's doing to the status of John Cena, AJ, and Vicky Guerrero? Do you think AJ should be competing more in the Divas division? What do you think of things like this happening on a PG show? And how does this affect WrestleMania? And does it need to really be taking place on Twitter? It's bad enough we see it on free television. What do you think? Tell me on Facebook, facebook.com/HW Entertainment, twitter.com/JonathanClarke1, and you can watch me on YouTube at youtube.com/JonathanClarke22. Honestly, I don't know. I've really never been more uncertain than I have been over the last few weeks as it relates to John Cena and AJ, and that's why I've kind of gone over with this video blog this week, because there are so many things happening because of this relationship scandal, and it really doesn't need to be happening. But you can tell me how you feel about it. You can find me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and watch me on YouTube. I've got some music lined up for you on the next Katy Perry and Firework. I will see you next week. God help us all if this angle between AJ and John Cena is legitimate. Katy Perry is next.
When something takes place in the world of professional wrestling, you know where to go. WrestleZone.com. WrestleZone.com. Covering all the latest breaking news daily. Interactive forums where you can chat with thousands of other wrestling fans. Exclusive editorials and audio features by some of today's top wrestling superstars. Exclusive video content, weekly polls, live play-by-play coverage of every WWE and TNA pay-per-view. And now, featuring WrestleZone Radio, live with news, in-depth discussions, debates, and interviews with wrestling's top stars, past and present. When you think wrestling, think WrestleZone. WrestleZone.com.
He considers himself God's gift to wrestling. and millions of his faithful agree. With nearly 4 hours of footage and exclusive commentary and matches, this DVD chronicles Daniels' rise from Chicago's Windy City Wrestling to the Asylum in Nashville and finally to the top of TNA. TNA Home Video presents Heaven Sent, Hell Bound, the best of Christopher Daniels. Available at most retailers and TNAWrestling.com.
Hey, you right there, the one listening to this show. While you're tuning into this broadcast or when you read the news on WrestleZone.com, are you forming opinions of it all? Or do you just agree with everything you see and hear? If you actually have some sort of afterthought, which, by the way, is normal, we want to know what it is. There are thousands of wrestling fans just like you that simply can't hold their thoughts in either. And they let it all out in our interactive forums. You have a voice, so use it. Simply visit forums.WrestleZone.com. Don't just be active, be reactive in the official WrestleZone.com forums. For all the latest in mixed martial arts, be sure to visit WrestleZone's sister site, SureDog.com. Complete with daily news, exclusive video, interviews, live radio broadcast, interactive forums, and the very popular Fight Finder with bios and complete match-by-match histories of your favorite fighters. SureDog is the only place you need when it comes to mixed martial arts. Visit SureDog.com today.
Hi, my name is Adam Nudelman, but I play the Phantom on the radio. I'm here to remind you that, oh, screw that, my book, Mysteries of Wrestling Solved, is available at finer bookstores everywhere. That's stupid fake voice, I hate it. I wrote a book along with Sir Adam Kleinberg called Mysteries of Wrestling. It has the questions that you wanted answered. Why does Steve Austin hate Jeff Jarrett? Are referees really blind and stupid and dumb? Who is actually the toughest wrestler in the business outside of the ring? Hulk Hogan, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kamala. We get down and dirty with insider facts you've never read about anywhere else. So what are you waiting for? It makes a great stocking stuffer. You're too short, you buy 3 of them, you get taller, you just stand on them. Mysteries of Wrestling Solved by ECW Press, written by Sir Adam Kleinberg and Adam the Phantom Nudelman. Available everywhere. It's done. The plug is done. I'm done. I didn't sell it well enough. There's naked pictures of China in there. Okay? Thank you.
Available now on DVD. John Triton is on the toughest, most important mission of his life.
You have a hostage. It's my wife.
And with everything on the line,
I gotta do something, and I gotta do it now.
nothing and no one can stop him.
See, I tried to kill this guy twice today.
Now, see the Marine in a whole new way with the unrated version. Get more edge-of-your-seat action, more mind-blowing explosions, more of the Marine. This unrated version features material